Hello everybody, I am Fedora Gamer, and welcome to another episode of Is It Fun? Today we are taking a look at Ascendant, which is just recently released on Steam. This game is something I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't know about before, but let's go ahead and jump right into it. It was successfully kickstarted at $10,000. It's quite some time ago, successfully got through Greenlight, and I only just heard about it when it popped up on Steam. And I kind of wish I had heard about it earlier, because it is kind of wonderful. Spoilers, it's kind of wonderful. It is what you might call an action roguelite, or roguelike, but roguelite to be more, less rage-inducing of a term, apparently. But it's more like a brawler roguelite. The combat has considerably more depth to it than most roguelites. As for roguelites, something like, well, if you want a 2D platformer roguelite like this, it would be something like Rogue Legacy. Would be a good comparison in a way, but a much stronger combat system. Trying to avoid getting spit on by this worm here. Okay. You see, it's a sword-based game. I'm playing the first character, the one of the two characters you have unlocked right from the start. You saw in the character select screen that there's quite a few more. Let's take out this bug. Oh, my combo didn't keep going for some reason. As you see, it's pretty fluid in fast combat. It's something like a brawler. Is it as good as a full-out brawler for combat-wise? No, but it is definitely a lot better than almost any other, actually any other roguelite that I've ever played. Most of the time they have fairly simplistic combat systems. I do enjoy them still, but that is definitely something I cannot argue with, that their combat systems are fairly simplistic. This one has a fair bit of depth to it. You can do a little dash attack here if I do it at the right distance. After you hit an enemy enough, you can... Nope, I missed the stagger. They will get a yellow outline, which means they're staggered, and you can launch them, which I will try to demonstrate here. Launch. And you can launch enemies into other enemies to hurt them or kill them. And that's a large part of the game, actually. There you go. Kill that guy with the launch guy. Whoop, launched a dead body instead. There we go, and he will die on impact probably. No, this guy seems to have a hell of a lot of life. There we go. Hey, we got our key. Let's go down. There is a treasure room down here. Let's see what we get. A new weapon. Ooh, a lot more damage. Considerably slower. 4% chance to deal critical damage. Chance on weapon to add spell hits to convert flies to fight on your side. Interesting. There is a lot of interesting effects on the weapons, and I've never seen that one before. Getting the insect enemies to fight on my side sounds kind of cool. And that's one of the methods of character progression, is the weapons, which do tend to have very interesting effects on them. Let's, I do have two keys. Let's go ahead, I want to show you a challenge room. There's these green rooms over, you see on the map, over on the left-hand side here, there's a room with a green icon there. These are special rooms. Sometimes they're like a challenge room. Sometimes they are more of sacrificing health for gain. Okay. Or just a straight boon like this one. This is one of the shrines to the gods. It's going to be a shrine like this. And max health increased. Ooh, wow, by 2. That is wonderful on the first floor. That is so good. Now I just need to get them filled up. That was definitely worth the key. Sometimes they're kind of a challenge, which very much ends in my death most of the time. But anyway, let's talk about the different combat. Let's see. Oh, no, let's not waste a key on there. I don't have enough influence, which is over there on the left-hand side. That's what the currency is. You can get shops that cost hearts as well, that cost health. Not permanent health, but, you know, how much health you currently have. Also, you can launch pots, but these guys went all ninja on that. Ooh, spikes. The spikes are very dangerous for the enemies. As you can see, those two guys right there just killed themselves by getting their fingers pricked on the spikes. Spikes definitely hurt you as well, but they pretty much instant kill any enemies. Launching enemies into spikes is a very good means of dispatching them. We have a boss right here. I did want to show you more specifics about the combat. There is a dash, which allows you to dash through projectiles, and I very rarely effectively use that ability to my own detriment. There is magic mode, which you have to hold a button and you go into a casting mode, which lets you fire 360 here. Your mana is under your health up there at the top, and it regenerates, so you don't need to find mana pickups for that. And let's go ahead and fight the boss here. We got the easy boss, which is also a very entertaining boss. Look at that dance. This is what I was talking about, that a lot of the bosses rely a lot on the launch mechanic. I have to knock this guy's tower over here, which is usually easy to do, but I'm missing. Oh, Jesus. You can aim your launch. Just point that out here. Once he gets out of the tower, he's just easy. You just button mash him and he's done. But anyway, you can aim your launch when you're hitting the launch button with, I'm using the gamepad right now, with your analog stick. Whatever direction you hit in is the direction you launch in. This actually brings up one of the complaints I have about the game. These are blessings, which is one of the main ways to build your character, customize, kind of like, it works a lot like armor and other gear in other games, but you get to choose which slot you put it in. How many slots you have for weapon, body, and magic depends on what character you're playing. This is a melee focused character, so it has a lot of weapon and body. Whenever you get a blessing that you have never put it in a slot before, you won't know what it does until you put it in that slot, and then you will know from then on, whenever you pick it up, what it does in that slot. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the weapon, because this actually is very convenient that this happened to drop, so I can show you one of the complaints I have about the game. Some of the effects, some of them clash with the visual style of this game, which is the high point of this game. It is gorgeous. I can't believe I didn't say that right off the bat. This game is freaking gorgeous. It has this kind of Central American, maybe Inca type of aesthetic. I don't know. I'm not that cultured. It's bloody gorgeous, though, and each of the levels is based on a season. You start at early spring, now we're in late spring, then we go to early summer. So assumably that means there is 8 floors to this game, and I cannot consistently get past floor 2 yet. This game is not easy. Anyway, oh god, we got an explodey guy. Let's get up here. Thank you. I think he... Oh, there's another one. Jesus. Thank you for killing him. Let's get away from the spits. Okay, let's take you out. And that's the effect. Weakened enemies get devoured by that. And it really clashes. It looks really out of place with the rest of the game. There's also other magical effects that not so much clash with the visual style, but are very distracting and take up way too much screen space. There's one on attack, you can have a hailstorm appear around you, which is a big cloud right above your head with very large hail graphics coming down, and it obstructs the view a great deal. I do not intentionally use that for that very reason. I will not equip that on my weapon ever again. Did it one time, it was a mess. Oh god. Eat magic. He's not dead yet. Though if I do get that as a drop, I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay. I've never had these guys convert to fight on my side yet. So I'm not sure. Oh, we got a guy with a shield here. These guys got attacked from behind. There's him enough times to get rid of the shield, but it kind of staggers you every time you hit them, which can leave you pretty vulnerable, especially if there's other enemies around. And there's that shark effect again, which again just really clashes in my opinion. Hey, here's another special room. Let's see what it is. Uh-oh. You smell gunpowder. I know what this one is. Yes, get out of here. Those explosions hurt a lot. We get some mini ones too. Okay, okay. Oh, damn it. I think this is probably the last guy. And the last one always lives. So you had to fight him off. There we go. Oh, we got a new weapon. Let's see if it's any better than the current one I have. Attacks no longer flinch you. That is very, very, very useful for those guys with shields, because then you do not get that stagger every time you hit their shield. You can just spam through the shield. Lowers player gravity. This is interesting. It's considerably less damage, but that no stagger thing is extremely valuable. Ooh, I go floaty. Also, if you kill them before their thing goes off, you can then use it against enemies. Alright, there is one large part of combat I have not actually shown you very well yet. Okay, the floatiness is definitely strange, getting used to that. Oh. Let's get away from... And that is parry, which is most useful against ranged enemies, but you can use it to pretty much instantly kill an enemy if you time it right. Getting the timing right is definitely kind of difficult, at least it was in my opinion. Whoa. You go into spikes, please. Thank you. Okay, I don't know if I like this floaty stuff. This is really weird. Very disorienting. Here's another type of item you can pick up. I'm not sure what they're called. They never really tell you what they're called, but they just give you a straight up percentage bonus to boost to something. Parry, big part of the game. A lot of the bosses, well, I've only seen 3 bosses so far, but some of the bosses revolve around parries. Let's go ahead and talk about how the character building here. Let's go ahead in the character sheet. You know, the different methods you have of improving your character throughout each run. You have your weapon, you have your spell, which you start with, then you have a breath item that you can get, which these are breaths of gods, and they are a one-time use, generally fairly powerful item that you can only carry one of at a time. Then you have, I believe this is go here are spirits. These seem to be pretty rare. I've never gotten more than 1 or 2 at a time. Thinking my runs have never been very long. And these give you a passive effect, but more interesting ones than the little stones that give you increased damage, spell damage, or increased melee damage. They give you things like luck up. I can't think of any more off the top of my head. And then you have the blessings that you can choose which slot they go into, and each one of them has a different effect in the different types of slots. So it has a fair bit of depth to the progression there. Ooh, that glowing guy means he's going to drop a ton of money when I kill him. He also has considerable HP. Oh. Oh. Really? Okay, well, that's good to know. If the shark kills something, it doesn't drop anything. Okay, my advice is never put that blessing in your weapon. It's pretty freaking terrible. Hey, nice shot. We got another key here. We do have a treasure room over here. Let's go ahead and check out the treasure room. Pots can have things, but it's pretty rare that they actually give you anything. 50 influence is nice, though. You can get weapons and spirits that increase the drop rate of items from pots, which then make them considerably more useful. Now, it's showing that I didn't do the challenge room. I did the challenge room. Why is it showing it as an unexplored room? Doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's another one. Oh, God. No, this one's really hard. You get double jump, and you need to get to the top. And, I'll show you why it's hard here if I can get past the first one. I promise this is harder than it looks. Ah. I almost got it. Damn it. Bloody hell, quit moving. Now, they have spikes on them. And, ooh, attempting to do this will be the death of me. I'm not going to. I've not been able to complete that one ever. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the shop here so you can see what shops are all about. Hey, I left a pot alive. Why did I leave a pot alive? Hey, more influence. So yeah, thus far, by far this one of the standout features is the the visuals. It looks wonderful. Some of the animations aren't the greatest, but it still looks really good. Breath, that's a breath item. We can get a heart, which I probably will. We can get a spirit, or we can get a spell. Laser barrage, I don't think I've had, so I'm gonna get the spell and a heart. Let's see what the spell does here. That seems useful. The floatiness. I don't know if I'll take a low gravity weapon ever again. It's not bad, it's just different, and I'm so used to how the jump normally works, so definitely an adjustment. Let's go ahead and see if I can actually make it past floor 2 for a change. So, as I said, I am using a gamepad for this because I do generally prefer using gamepads for... Oh, hey, a hidden chest. You can sometimes find these around the levels. Ooh, a breath. Summons followers. Cool. That might really help us on the boss here. But there is keyboard... this is the boss that I usually lose on. This is one you have to use launching for extensively. There we go, I nailed him. But it's dodging this guy while launching these. Ooh, I got him pretty good there. Oh, bloody hell. Almost dead. He's almost dead. I launched too early. Crap. Followers don't actually help with this guy. There we go. I beat him! Finally! God, it's been so long. Oh, I still have to kill these guys. There we go. Eat. Eat a parry. Come on. Yeah. Alright. Dashing leaves trail fire. That's pretty useful. Launch enemies cause fire explosion. That's pretty useful. And spells have a chance to do double damage. If you're playing a spell-based character, that's definitely useful. We'll go ahead with Trail of Fire. That sounds fun. And that's floor 2. I have 2 1/4 hearts left, so that's not great. Alright, now we can see Early Summer, which definitely has a different aesthetic to it. That was a good pot right off the bat. We will start running into some new enemies up here now. Oh yeah, like these flies that shoot, which are particularly nasty. One of the tooltips does mention this, and I would agree it's generally a better idea to deal with flying enemies first. I don't like the shark thing. It looks so bad. Alright, dealt with. Every room you clear, you do get a chest. You probably have already noticed that, but every single room. I am doing really good on keys, that's for sure. Ah, I knocked it into him too slow. And see, now I can just spam right through those shields, because I don't flinch now. It's very useful, especially when you get rooms full of the shield guys. There are some challenges that are full of them. Okay. We'll let the shark eat that one, apparently. Also, one of the blessings, if you slot it into yourself, into body, gives you... Oh, come on. Ah, dang, I was trying to knock you into spikes. Gives you immunity to spikes, which, as you can imagine, is extremely useful. Alright. That worked out in my favor. Oh, we got a tiny exploder. Thank you. Oh, we got a spitting bug too. You're not dead? Okay. Let's dead you. There we go. Anyway, there is keyboard controls. I've used them a little bit. They function. This will probably be death to me, but I'm going to go in here. There's one major problem with keyboard controls, though. Is the best way to do keyboard controls is you use your mouse clicking for attacking, and it's what you use to aim your spells and what direction you launch enemies in. But the game does not constrain the mouse cursor to the game window. Which, there's a lot of people these days that use multiple monitors, myself included. So, let's see if I can get the cursor up here. No, it's because I can't see the cursor right now. But your cursor can easily leave the side of the monitor over to your secondary monitor. And if you click over there in your full screen, it minimizes the game, destroys recordings. It's a bad thing that happens in a lot of indie games. Indie devs constrain cursor to game screen. Terraria is extremely bad about this in my Terraria. Okay, gunpowder again. I can survive this. Terraria is very guilty of this, and it is extremely aggravating for anyone that uses multiple displays. I don't know where to go. Oh. Well, that was the end of that run. It was going so well, too. If I would avoid that room, I may have had a chance of beating the third floor for the first time. This game is really hard. And there's a disparity between the difficulty and the bosses. Like, the first two levels can have one of the 3 early game bosses being Grunty, the Burrower, as you saw, which is the most difficult of the 3, and the Maw, which I used to think was difficult, but I've gotten pretty good at finding the Maw. Grunty is extremely easy compared to the other 2. Alright, I'm going to show you some of the unlocks I have here. There is quite a bit of stuff to unlock. Go to discoveries here. Here's all the different blessings I have found so far. And there are still some locked ones. And still some I have not encountered yet that are unlocked. A few are locked still. I can actually see this one, but it's locked. There's something goofy about that. But how you unlock most of the locked one is by discovering the blessing definitions, which means putting it into a slot that has question marks. So even if it's a blessing that you really want on your weapon because it's really good, but you don't know what it does in the other slots, it's probably a good idea to put it in those other slots just to get those unlocks and to unlock more blessings. Then we have the breaths, which I have encountered a fair bit of. There's none locked anymore, so it doesn't look like there's any locked. There's quite a few. There's 7. Oh, I've gotten. Yep, I'm over at the spirits now. There's 75 of these, and you don't get these very often. Let's see what this one does. Increased effect chance on blessings. So if you have a effect on your weapon blessing, it increases the chance. Bonus damage against bosses. That's generally always a good thing. There's so many of these I have not discovered yet. Increased chance for heart drops from pots and room chests, which is very good. So that's the spirits, and we have the different weapons. Now these weapons, as you see, don't tell you exact stats because they can get random prefixes and suffixes. So they have a base value and then a base enchantment, and then the prefixes and suffixes can add more enchantments and change the stat values. They all look pretty damn cool though. And then the different spells. Quite a few of them I haven't unlocked yet. Alright. That's Ascendant. It is really good. It does have its few flaws. There's one other major technical problem. You cannot rebind keys on keyboard or on gamepad, which is... there's no excuse for that on a PC game. Granted, this is a small indie developer that's out of their garage. Literally, there's a picture on their website of them in their garage. They have a setup, and I believe it's a 4-man team. Still, rebindable keys is a must on a PC game. This is Ascendant. It is on Steam for $10. It's on 10% off right now. So let's do my little wrap up. Thumbs down. What do I dislike? Some of these spell effects. Well, some effects in general. They're not necessarily spells. But the shark one, the hail is just clashes with the visual theme of the game in a bad way. And the hailstorm one, very much obstructs your view, and I lost that run because of it. It's powerful, but it very much obstructs your view. It makes it much more difficult to parry effectively. And there's a few other effects I've seen too that are kind of obstruct your view and just get in the way as well, but not nearly as bad as the hailstorm one. So a few of the effects I do not like too much. And then technical issues being the not constraining mouse cursor to the screen and the no rebindable keys. Thumbs up. Wonderful aesthetic. I love it. The game is beautiful. The game has a very strong combat system, the strongest I've ever seen in a roguelite, and is extremely fluid and extremely enjoyable. What else? I like there's a good depth to the character customization between the blessings, the spirits, the pickups that give you just a kind of boring, flat, passive bonus, and the weapons, which are all very interesting, have a lot of very interesting effects on them. So, is it fun? Hell yes. Despite its few shortcomings, which the technical ones, those can be patched out, those can be rectified by a patch, this game is definitely worth the asking price. It is going to probably be a contender for my game of the year. I've been Fedora Gamer. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.